Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You don't remember that song?
You don't remember the TV show?
Over my head. What TV show was that?
Huh? Welcome back.
Why you crying, bro? My singing was that good?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tears in
man.
my eyes.
Shoot, man. I always wanted to be a singer. But welcome back to another edition of the NoStoppingKev Show. This is episode 12. 12 is that's one of my favorite numbers. You just all I get is a head nod on that.
Well, one of my numbers was 21, so that's backwards.
Flip it around, you know. How you feeling, man?
I just wonder about you.
Apple ain't fall far from the tree.
What you drinking there?
Coffee. But yeah, I feel like I didn't give you as big of a happy birthday shout out on air last week as I should have. So again, happy birthday. You turned another year older. It's a blessing.
Yes, it is.
Hey, feeling good?
And it was, you know what? It was a great birthday. You know, it was the best birthday. It was so much love in that birthday.
What made it so special?
Well, all my kids was there. All my kids did some things for me. You know, like the girls, they fixed me breakfast. You know, just all being together, just getting together is much, because it's so much love between us, you know, and that's the good thing.
Yeah, that was a special birthday for me, for you, because it was the first one in like 3 or 4 birthdays where I could actually call you, you know.
Yeah.
So that was a good feeling, because, you know, 3 years before that, you know, consecutively, I had to wait to get that phone call from you to wish you happy birthday, you know.
But the one year you got to come, you and Bree got to come on a contact visit.
Yeah, that's true.
So I did get to see y'all
true.
on my birthday. It fell on my birthday.
That's true.
So that was one good. But yeah, other than that.
Yeah, we back to no restrictions, and we gonna keep it that way.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
It would. Getting back, this week been crazy in the city.
Oh, yes, it has.
My man went full Grand Theft Auto a couple days ago. Like, can't think of his name. I know his last name, Hill, but he had... So if y'all don't watch the news in Philly, don't live in Philly, I mean, all you had to do was turn on... It was on national news. Like CNN, NBC, all of them. But police were serving a warrant, a narcotics warrant. You know, they go inside the house and gunfire breaks out. You know, short version of the story is, you know, 7.5 hour standoff. 6 officers were shot, none fatal, no bystanders were hurt. But yeah, it was just a wild thing. I was leaving work and police cars were just flying down Broad Street. I'm talking like probably 4 groups of like 10 cars at a time. So, you know, they were coming from all different districts. I'm like, they're going north, but they're coming from the south side. I'm like, something bad happened.
Yeah.
So I told Devin, I was like, I'm going to get that NBC alert in a moment. And sure enough, at that time, it was like 4 officers shot. But it was just crazy now that, you know, more video is coming out of cops kind of, you know, crawling out of the house and things like that. It's just wild. Thankfully, though, no one was killed.
Yeah, that's the blessing of it all. That's the blessing. Nobody was seriously hurt, so that was a good thing.
And then when they said they were just going to kind of wait it out because they didn't want any more gunfire, I was like, that's a smart move, because, you know, if you're thinking about statistics, right? I'm like, if there's another series of gunshots, somebody might die. Just playing the numbers. But thankfully, we were able to get that situation de-escalated and taken care of without anyone getting seriously hurt, so no one lost any loved ones, which is something we're all thankful for.
Yeah.
And then, you know, something else that was crazy is just, you know, you kind of go on social media and you see the different conversations about it. Like, some people are happy police officers got shot. Some people not so much. But it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had when you talk about police in the community and the relationship they have with the black community. So got somebody in mind that I'm gonna see when we can get them up here to come through. Looking forward to a guest we got. Trying to get him for next episode. Y'all, if this thing goes down, God, it's gonna be a gem. It's gonna be a big episode for who I'm trying to get to come through here to be the first official guest on the No Stopping Kev show. But Dad, I feel like I've just been going on and I'm channeling my inner motor mouth. Remember you used to call me that?
Yeah.
I wonder where I get that from.
Not me.
I get it from you and my mom, to be honest.
No.
Yeah. Oh, see in the NBA, DeMarcus Cousins.
What? No.
He tore his ACL.
He did?
Yeah, he can't catch a break.
Oh no.
I felt like it was my fault when I played fantasy basketball one year. I picked him, and that seems like since then he gets hurt every year.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Boogie. But yeah, you looking forward to this NBA season?
Well, once it starts, I probably watch some of it. See what the Sixers do.
You always just so nonchalant. Oh, I don't care about basketball that much anymore.
I mean, I don't watch it like I used to watch it. I don't have the love for it that I used to have to watch the games because to me, basketball changed.
So you missed the old days.
I mean,
still love basketball. It's just today's game isn't what you're used to.
Right. The game is so much different. You know, the game is really played from the outside now.
That's so much better.
It is. It's so much exciting to see people shoot three pointers all day.
I don't think that's all you see. I do think guys are more athletic today.
I agree with that.
What?
They might be more athletic.
What? You agree with that?
But they don't play no defense today.
Some guys play defense.
It's like they play like you know when you go to it's like they just roll out the carpet and say go ahead, you know, you go to the basket and make this dunk or something. We're gonna make the game exciting, you know.
Yeah, the game they definitely I think made the game more exciting over the year and also safer.
I don't think it's more exciting.
I'm saying because the game is less physical and you can't just like run through the lane and you know deck somebody like you could back when the Pistons had the tap rule. You know, I think it's a safer game, but you know it allows for more excitement because you get more. People can go on their back at tricks, do their thing because you don't got to worry about the hand check and stuff. But I get you. I wish I could have seen that physical era.
But you know what? Like even when you say that, okay, like what I'm saying is people don't like. You know what? When Mike went to the basket and probably dunked on somebody, he dunked on somebody. You know, it wasn't like I'm gonna get out of the way. I'm not gonna try to not block this, or I'm not gonna try to
foul. Posters today. People still get put on posters today. Don't act like that.
I'm not saying that they don't get put on posters or something like that. But it ain't somebody that really going to act it or going to try to stop it. It ain't nobody like you know what like you have.
There's guys out there that still try to stop it.
Who really try to stop it?
All right, now I gotta name some shot blockers.
I mean, I'll believe LeBron might try to run you down, or run somebody down and try to catch something from behind or something like that.
But Steven Adams, Clint Capella, who's some other big guys that try to hold down the middle? DeAndre Jordan. I'm trying to think of some people. Who's Miami has a guy. He's not even a big guy, but. I'm even shout out my man Mike Scott for going head to head with Giannis a couple times. Although he wrapped him up on the ground, but there's still guys out there that try to hold down the middle. I'll come more prepared with a list next time.
You know. Somebody asked me like one day I went to Geno's and I was getting a steak and the guy was out there. He was asking me like, who do I think was better, football? In football was Brady. Or
Peyton Manning?
No. We got to go back.
John Elway?
No.
Joe Montana.
And I told him, I mean, Brady got six. He got 6 championships, right?
I think so.
I think he got 6, if I ain't mistaken.
I don't really like
New
England.
What I'm saying is, though, you know what? The game is totally different. It's totally like Montana got 6 war. He went to war. You know what I mean? And when he played, it was football. It wasn't like you know what you can't really hit the quarterback. You can't really do it. You had to take right.
And I mean, Tom Brady does have some scandals.
Yeah, but I mean, like you can't, and it's just so much different. So it's so much more watered down to me. The same way that I say basketball is not like it used to be, and I guess because I played, I guess in that era a little bit when it was tougher than it is now.
I think I got a little bit of that era in me.
Yeah, well, you do have probably a little
played
bit.
Against me, you felt the physicality. Big boyed you, big boy.
Don't pay him
Made
no mind.
you feel small. You felt that muscle. Don't make me come out the official No Stopping Kev hoodie and show you what's up under here. All swole, hard body. I'm
gonna check that coffee.
You can check it. You can check it. It's clean. You can't look and play like this and dominate like this when you got special stuff in the cup.
I don't need special.
But yeah, speaking of the No Stopping Kev apparel, shout out to everybody that has already grabbed your apparel. We appreciate the love and support. There's a lot of love out there. There's a ton. And if you interested, hit us up, email us, slide in our DMs on Instagram or Facebook. But it's running out, man. You better get it before you gotta catch that back order. I don't want you to have to do that. I don't want you to have to wait an extra week when I can just kind of get it to you pretty much next day or a couple days by mail. So don't waste time. Also, YouTube, make sure you subscribe, like this video. Go down and click that thumbs up. And also when you subscribe, make sure you got the little bell highlighted so you get notifications. If you're listening on our on-the-go platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, y'all know the deal. Hit that subscribe so you get updates every time we post a new episode. But Dad, what are we here to talk about today?
What were you talking about? Outlets?
Yeah, like where you plug your phone in, right?
Yeah. My son always got jokes though,
Yeah, so something that was on my mind is just the importance of having something that kind of helps you get away that's productive. So like for me, like looking back in college, or even in high school, I turned to basketball, right? So like in college, for instance, me and my boy Tom, shout out to Tom, because before I even announced that shirts were going on sale, he was like, yo, Beef, them shirts, they sweet. I was like, oh, you don't even know you can get one. I don't even know yet. But yeah, he got one. But yeah, me and Tom would meet, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, just go get some shots up, get that stress relief in after grinding. I remember being in high school sometimes. We used to like riding bikes, right?
Yeah.
Man, if my mom was getting on my nerves a little bit, I love you, Mom. I'd be like, and I laugh at this all the time. I'm like, man, I'm going for a bike ride. How lame does that sound? I'm going for a bike ride. And I used to be out. That was one of my outlets, just for some stress relief, allow me to, just think and reflect on some things in my life. So, just something that I want to talk about, just so we can have people kind of self-assess. Like, what are your outlets you have in life? Do you have any? Are they constructive outlets? Because we certainly know some people turn to certain things that maybe they shouldn't. So what about for you? I'm sure basketball was one of your biggest ones.
Basketball was one. You know what? Like you saying, riding a bike. Sometimes and we talking about outside of basketball or frustration. Sometimes, like I remember, I would drive down Atlantic City just to drive and then just to walk. Just to walk the boardwalk. Like you said, just to get my thoughts together, get my mind together, just to look at some things. But in life, I went the wrong way a lot of times by using drugs. So that was a negative outlet for me. But that's something that, like, at times I ran to, or I used to go to. But like when I got clean, and when I was clean, I would always either ride a bike, take a walk. Like you said, go to the schoolyard, shoot some jump shots or something. Yeah, they was at my outlets.
Yeah, so when you weren't shooting that broke jump shot, right? What I really want to ask though, what do you think makes people turn to drugs? Like, I've never used drugs, so I don't know how it make you feel. Does it really take the pain away temporarily?
Like I gotta say now that people like I can't say why people use drugs. I could say why I used them. I could tell you that. But you know what? I made excuses to use drugs. Anytime that like I would make excuses and say I want to go get high because of something. Something can go wrong, or something that what. But I wanted to get high, so that was an excuse for me to get high.
So you were running from a problem or something.
At times, running from problems,
avoiding things.
Yeah. But the real bottom line was I just wanted to get high.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that I really was running from something. Like when I got clean, like I used to say, I fight everything that come that way. So it ain't that I couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it. And this is what I wanted to do. At times I thought that was, part of life. When I was young and I was snorting cocaine and I was doing things, I thought that was hip. I thought it was cool. So that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, you said, it's like wanting, like once you wanted to get clean or once you wanted to face problems, that want is a big thing. That desire to, turn one's life around is like a huge first step to getting help, because people can try to force you in a direction, but it don't always work. It's kind of like you gotta want to do it and be, willing to kind of, fight that battle, because it's a battle in itself, kind of turning your life around from that.
It is a battle, and you really gotta want it. Like some guy told me once. He said, like, you know what? If I'm trying to pull you up, like I could stand on this table and try to pull you up. It's easier for you to pull me down off that table than it is for you to pull me up. So if I'm not going to be willing to allow you to help me, then I could pull you down, or I could bring you back to where I'm at. So like I said, it's just about really wanting to do it. And the thing is, like I remember when I got clean, or I started getting clean, like it got easier. It got easier because I put myself around the right people.
Mm-hmm.
I put myself around people that, like, like a lot of people gonna hold you accountable. They're gonna do different things. So it did get easier. And that's the thing where if you stay around positivity, you're only gonna get better. It ain't no halfway. You either gotta be in or you gotta be out.
Yeah.
You can't do halfway, because our nature is gonna bring us to do wrong if it's like that way. Now, like I always say, for you wasn't exposed to it, you didn't do it, so for you to start doing something, it's the other way. But anybody can start at any time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And just kind of commitment is huge in a lot of areas of life. You say you can't have one foot in, one foot out. It's not gonna work.
Okay.
Got to be all in.
Yeah.
Like your boy at the roulette table. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, you better stay away from that roulette table.
But yeah, so what are some of your outlets now?
What? Sometimes, like, it's something. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. When you was young, right? And like I would really be going through something. And I would call you. You never knew that. Or I never said anything. Sometimes I could call you, or I could see you, and that was something that would clear my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like the day and time, I still call you. I still may take walks. I still have to do some of the things. Like, don't nothing really change. I mean, I had to change and just know how to get through it and deal with it. Cause like in my life now, some days I have down days.
Mm-hmm.
Every day ain't gonna be a good day, but I gotta get through it. Like I may call you, I may talk to like sometimes I remember Brianna was there and she talked, and it's somehow good advice that y'all give me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bree is definitely. It's funny realizing like she's old now, right? So she actually has she can actually add value to a lot of areas, and even in some of my conversations, she helped me, even offering suggestions with the podcast. But now that I can't hoop every day like I used to, especially back in college when I needed to get away, I would just go to the rec for a couple of hours, try to wreak havoc on people. Or some days it was rough at the rec, but now I can turn to something I really enjoy is working on this show. So whether it's crafting episodes out or planning for the future, that's something that allows me to get away. So finding something you're passionate about, like there's people out there that love running, but keep doing it if you can.
Yeah.
And then if if your body not holding up to do more physically taxing exercises, find something that dial it back, but just find something you really love doing that allows you to get away, because I think that helps a lot. And I think something that a lot of people don't consider is kind of like the importance of mental health. It's something that doesn't really get talked about, but you gotta definitely be mindful of it. And so outlets are something that really helped me, like even coaching, although that could be at times one of my more stressful outlets, that passion is there, so it really helps me get away. It helps me grow too. I think growth is another big one.
So you saying coaching can be like that?
Can be what? Stressful?
Yeah.
Sometimes. I'm coaching high school boys, man.
Well, I mean, I can understand to a sense of being stressful or the stress that goes with it. I guess when you were playing basketball, was that stressful?
No, I don't think it was ever stressful. Like even when you're having a bad game, it's not stress. It's probably more so frustration, which I guess can cause stress. But I'll say it's a different type of stress when things aren't going your way on the court.
Okay.
And so coaching is like, I get more stressed when we're having one of those bad practices where it's just like guys the focus isn't completely there. Like sometimes the energy is just off in the gym for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the stressful days, or when you got a guy who you explain what you need him to do, you demo it like 2-3 times and he still gets it wrong. Now I feel like I'm about to lose my head, just because it's like, did I not just show him how to do it? So I gotta look at like one of my players. I'm like, yo, did I face that way? Like, did I do it just like that? And when they like, yeah, I'm like, all right, I know it's not me. So how can I fix this? I want this kid to do it the right way, because I got him on the floor. I'm spending time teaching him because I believe it. And so then I think that helps it become less stressful.
See, for me, like if you're saying like coaching and something like that, that's probably part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, see, some things that I learned in recovery, when don't let your wants take you out of here. And saying like that, sometimes you want somebody and you want some people to do some things the way that you want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to remember, like, you know what, they not. And sometimes I think just like coaching, I remember when I used to coach or I did that, it was always kind of fun to me. Like playing basketball was always fun because I had love of it. Yesterday before I went to work, I go out there and I was talking to Louis Lloyd brother. I was talking to China, and he was asking me do I still play it, and I know, man, I ain't really trying to hurt. And he was saying the same thing. But to go up there and maybe take a couple shots or do something like that, or like I said, I'll play with you to the best that I can right now, because I'm get tired or whatever. But I just still feel that something that you really, really love. Like you said, I might get frustrated playing basketball. I could get frustrated, but I loved it so much that I could never say that I got stressed from it. Even when I was going through a series of a slump or a bad game, I didn't even think about it. Like, mm-hmm. Really. But, like when you can't make a shot, you start thinking about that shot, you know what I mean? But, that's when they always say you need to get to the foul line. You need to get a foul shot. You need to get a fast break layup or something like that to see the ball go through. So, to keep you in there. So I guess just like in life, when you frustrated, like you said, these outlets, we got to use our different outlets. Mm-hmm. And you got to use them, not to run to a joint, not to run in no coke, not to run in no syrup, not to run in no dope. We got to find the right outlets to use, mm-hmm. To keep us away from that. to keep us from doing the stuff like you were saying, like when you were saying about the different people thought about the police and all like that. You know, sometimes it's our mindset. Where's our mindset? You know, every cop ain't good. Every cop ain't bad. You know, every black person not bad. You know, it ain't that, but it's where we get to thinking and who we allow to influence our thinking. You know what I mean? Like like I said, my concern is our family. You know, and the people that support our family. You know.
Yeah, I think another important outlet, like you're saying, is that circle. And like you were saying before, you want it to be a constructive circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not someone that's gonna pull you down, but help push you up. So definitely having people you can go to and talk to. Like an outlet doesn't always have to be an activity that we would traditionally think of as activities, but you know, sometimes it's just going, hanging out with some friends, just getting away, having fun, catching up. Which, especially as you get older, sometimes I think it's harder to do. Like, you know, I think about my main group of friends were my boys from high school, right? A lot of teammates. We go off to college in all different places. Then we're only really able to catch up for a day or two here and there on breaks. Over the summer, you get a couple more opportunities, especially because I used to get my boys into the gym up at Penn, which used to be pretty fun, just to go up there. But then you get out of college and you're working 5 days a week, still trying to figure out how to rest. You got some people who are still in grad school, so it kind of gets a little challenging to maintain that circle. But it's something to work on and keep in mind, because it's easy to lose sight of, like, you're not catching up with the people you used to, right? Who used to care about you, who you care about. And so it's like something that I try to make a bigger effort to do now. Like, even if it's just texting some buddies from, you know, college or high school, just to say what's up. Just do it. Just keep that relationship.
You know, that's what I was saying about my birthday this year. You know, I got so many people that called me. I mean, that actually called me. Man, that it was so much. Like, I'm just saying, the love that I got, man. Like, you know, and like some people, like you said, I haven't seen or talked to in years, but some kind of way they made it around to get my number, call me, and everything. Like, I was just asking you for Horace's number, you know, and here he go, call me on, cause like I knew it was him. It's only two people that call me Barn or do like that, and then like I'm saying, this gotta be Horace, you know what I mean? But I know where he probably got my number from, but it was just big for him to call. You know, just some other people. The people that reached out and called, not you know, because people on Facebook always print and stuff like that. But it was a lot of people that called me. You know, that was so good and so unreal, because I never had that before like that. You know, and that's what I mean. It was so much love for this birthday.
Yeah, and I know I gave you a little post on my page.
Oh, you know I love it. Yeah.
And so many people that I didn't even know commented on it, all because I tagged you. I was like, yo, I didn't even know they can see my profile like that. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, y'all follow the podcast page, though. Like, y'all need to. Like, don't just be up here liking and commenting. Happy birthday, follow that page.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just me playing. You know, something else that's big today, even bigger than when I was a kid, is video games. Right, so you have a lot of kids play video games, right? But now it's becoming like a huge thing where you can make money off it. Like, some 16-year-old won like $3 million playing Fortnite, right? And I think Philly is building the first like video game arena where like there's gonna be competitions, like a whole league, teams, people can come watch. Colleges are considering starting. Some of them might already have it, but like gaming teams. Like, now you have your basketball, football, soccer team.
Yeah.
They thinking about having, like, you can be a D1 video gamer.
Now
What's your thoughts on that?
Let me ask you. I'm getting ready to ask you. Do you think that's good?
So I think about this quite a bit, right? Because, all right, so let's say if I have a kid, right? He's like, Dad, I want to be a e-gamer, right? I'm like, okay, son, or daughter, but we're gonna go with the son for this scenario. That video game can't be the first thing you're striving for. One is gonna be education, right? Because no matter what,
Right.
like, knowledge is power, right? And especially being a black man, you gonna need some education. And when I talk about education, I'm not just talking about college, because I'm a proponent of trades too, plumbing, being carpentry. I'm a fan of all that, right? As long as something productive that you can make a living off of. Second one, I'm pushing to a traditional sport because the importance of exercise and health, right? So I want you to go out there and engage in a physical activity, so that your body's in a good physical state. Then there's also, I don't really know research behind if, video games release like the same types of things in your brain that allows you to be, relieve the stress and different things that your body kind of needs to live a healthy lifestyle. But that secondary sport could be a video game, and if you're that good at it, like, so be it. But I was even talking to my nephew about this because I wanted to see what he was thinking. Because I know him sometimes. He might be like, yo, you know what? I'm about to get good at Fortnite so I can make me a couple millions, right? But I explained to him, I was like, what happens when... So if you specialize in Fortnite, right? What happens when Fortnite becomes a thing of the past? Like, are you going to be good at that next game? Because I know I used to play Call of Duty, right? Mm-hmm. Each one that came out, I would get. But there were certain ones that I were a lot better at than others, right? And I could play them just as much, but for whatever reason, certain additions, I was just better at it, right? So it's like, there's only so much skill involved when you start changing the games. So I was just trying to make them mindful of different things, different risk involved with it.
I guess like I'm always been about education. Like you were saying first, I was always about that. And it's funny because I remember you, and I remember a girl used to live across the street from me, and she used to say, I know you're glad your son playing basketball. And I used to say, I don't care if he never pick up a basketball, as long as he do what he got to do in school. And you know what, funny, I used to say that, but ever since he was little, I would buy you a little basketball.
Yeah,
and I would do all that. But I like for you to play basketball, but I really didn't care. I just wanted you to do good in school because I knew where basketball took me. Basketball was good for me. So, but do we use the things in the right way? Do we use this, or do we use basketball, or do we use the game to take us, or do we use that for just ourselves? Sometimes when we talk about in a way I'm saying I love basketball, but then I use basketball to even get me negative things or to get me a negative way.
What you mean by that?
All right, you know what? I knew that I knew some of the drug dealers would give me what I want. So I'm using basketball to get what I want. The wrong thing. Yeah, they would give it to me because, and they do that. They'll give you money. They'll do whatever it is when they think that you're going to be this. So that's what I'm saying. You can be good and do that. Now, like I'm saying, maybe on the game thing, but how much do you got to play that game to get good? How much do you're not going to do your chores if you got chores at home because you're going to play this game? You're not going to listen to your parents because you want to play this game or you want to do this thing.
But can't you argue that a kid that plays basketball would do the same thing? Right.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How many people, you know what, basketball players may be great basketball players that don't finish high school, that do something else. So that's what I'm saying. We and as men and stuff like that, we gotta be in there and direct them and guide them in the right way.
So are you saying you're against video games?
No, I'm not against video games. I like I said,
I'm not following you 100%.
I'm not saying I'm against video games. It's just where do the video games? I'm not against basketball. I love basketball.
You saying it just need to be a balance between
right.
the sport, and if your extracurricular and the things that you really need. So taking care of your responsibilities at home and in the classroom. I got you.
Right, and like I'm saying is, like, how much do you? If you good at video games and you got a chance to make it like that, then go ahead.
Yeah, I used to be good at 2K.
Yeah, go ahead.
Back in my day, I might have could have grabbed a couple milli, a couple mils, couple racks.
I used to, like Sadell. I used to talk to Sadell, and Sadell told me the year I left school, but he stayed and he said he told me, he said, man, at the second semester, I ain't even go to class no more. He said all I did was really went to the gym, and he said he went and played. He made the league, and he was successful. So I mean, he did give it up, but he made it. And so I'm not gonna say if you got a chance and you got that talent. Now, if you want to put all your cards in that barrel, but then if you don't make it, what you gonna do then?
Yeah, I got something about that, but just going back to kind of like making video games that third choice. Another reason is because like engaging in, I'll say, a traditional sport where like with some of these e-gaming things you can work on a team virtually, through headsets and things like that. And then at these events, I know they're going to bring everybody together in the same room, but it's something about the experiences you get being on a team, being in practice, having to overcome obstacles together, I think is a critical life skill. Although you can argue that you can do the same thing in video games themselves with overcoming obstacles within it virtually. But I just think it's something about having that hands-on experience with people in person, being in the same room as your teammates, kind of having to be under the same pressures and situations and really help. Like being there face to face, I think, is something that's hard to place a value on. As far as putting, all your eggs in one basket, something I've always cautioned against. But I think, now you kind of know players that in college are going to be one and dones, right? Just because of all the playing they do before they get there, that you kind of know. So a lot of those guys just go to college because they have to. You got to do 1 year outside of high school before going to the NBA, which is why you see some people go overseas. LeVar Ball tried to make the league where people can go play and make money. NBA is they're going to end up, I think, making the G League like a NCAA substitute, just to give players an opportunity to still play and not have to basically be milked by people that run the NCAA and different institutions. So in those instances, it's like they're not really putting all their eggs in one basket at that point because they already know their track, like they've already kind of made it there. But I do think I'll be one to preach that balance. You gotta have that balance, just like in anything in life.
But see, you talking about the ones that one and done in college.
Yeah, I'm saying, but before they get to that point.
Yeah, but what about how many people not even getting that point?
Yeah, that most don't.
That's what I'm saying. It's the one, like something my coach used to always say to me, like my coach used to say to us, I'm not trying to prepare you to go to the NBA. I'm trying to prepare you for life and deal with the pressures of life. So, because he was saying, how many people make the NBA? How many people does? And then you look at it, how many do? Mm-hmm. So it's the ones that, like, we never even know about. That might do this, like I said, the people that might have not even go to school because all they want to do is play, and I'm just going to use basketball or something like that. Something that scared me like one time was when I was young. It was a guy, I never forget. It was like about 90-something degrees. This guy was in the schoolyard with an overcoat on, playing one-on-one by himself. And like I said to him, and somebody said, I said, what happened to him? Man, he went crazy because he didn't make the NBA.
He's playing one-on-none?
One-on-none.
Like he was out there?
Whole court by himself with an overcoat on, 90 degrees weather in the summertime with an overcoat on.
Maybe he's trying to make weight.
they said that he was messed up because he didn't make the NBA.
That's crazy.
You know, and I was young. I was like young. I might have been 12, 13 years old, man.
So that scared you?
It scared me. It scared me. So, and like the thing was, I just played on what I had and just played for the love of the game. I was scared. I mean, I was really scared because I didn't want to go crazy.
Speaking of fear, were you, knowing your experiences of where basketball kind of led you at times, were you afraid that me playing, I would end up in the same place?
When you?
Yeah, when I was playing.
When you were playing? That
Yeah.
you would end up like me?
Did you ever have that fear? Like how you said, I don't care about if you play basketball. Do you think in the back of your mind, you had any feeling that, based off of, what you were able to get from playing basketball, the negative things, were you afraid that I would have the same, let's say, opportunity?
No.
Why not?
No. One, your mother, and two, me.
What you gonna do?
Well, it's a good thing you had to find out what I would do.
I mean, so now I can just let you talk about it and say what you would have done.
No, what I'm saying is I didn't have to worry because you wasn't really exposed to that life. See, one thing is your mother wasn't going to let you. I wasn't exposed. I wasn't bringing my life around you in that way. So, no, I didn't worry. I never had a fear of you going down the wrong way. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a fear of Brianna going down the wrong way. I didn't ever have that.
That's why guidance is so critical.
So critical.
Even from a young age to old,
Right.
Having, I still need guidance. I'm sure you still use people for guidance. It's something that kind of never goes away, never gets played out, never becomes unnecessary.
Yeah. We always, and like I said, you know what? And we always seeing something in somebody that can help us. Mm-hmm. It's funny. I used to always say, you know what? And I'm just gonna say this, like when I used to get high or something like that, I can always find that, like if you look around, you'll see a church on how many corners. But when you doing wrong, you never even pay them churches no mind. You never even paying stuff no mind. But you know what? You only could see the things that you want to see. Like I said, it's so important. Like one thing is I learned, and I really learned that, like, you know what, parents, our parents, they got to be like, I think somebody said, I don't know if it was Charles Barkley or what said, he ain't a role model. He said your mother and father need to be your role model. They need to be a role model. Like athletes can be, we're always gonna be role models and stuff like that. But you know what? It starts at the home.
But what happens when the home is broken or you don't have that at home? That's why I think it's important for, especially athletes. It's like if people looking up to you, I feel like there's a certain, like you should be mindful of that. If you got kids looking up to you, they're at the games, they want to be like you. It's like, what example are you setting?
Well, one thing I'm going to say, like for me, coming up and see like times are different now. Mm-hmm. We had that. Like you were saying in our last show, if you want it, it's there. You might just have to look. Today, you might have to look a little harder than I had to look back then. But like sometimes it's right there in front of your face. Just like I was just saying about the churches or what. It's right in front of your face. Sometimes we got to open our eyes to that. For a lot of my belief now was always there. I mean, was always there, but I never seen it until I was put in a place. And it got my attention.
Yeah. So we gotta get ready to get out of here, but I want to ask you again. What about when those, let's just say the parents aren't the best role model? Because that happens, right? And it's not the child's fault. What should that child do?
The parent might not be, but you know what? Your friend father might be.
Exactly.
Your friend mother might be. Your friend cousin might be. That person at the Y where you can go play basketball, it's somebody still there. It's still there.
So I think the recommendation is find mentorship. Even if you think your parents are great. Like, you asked me, I had 2 great parents. But having mentors help take me to another level, because I have mentors that have been places where my parents haven't. Like, I have mentors that have gotten multiple degrees, have navigated corporate America, spaces that, I wanted to get to. But, parents, you only can push somebody so far with what you know. But when you reach out and use your resources, now it's like, oh, my dad might not know much about going from undergrad to grad school, but Dr. Anderson does.
Right.
I can ask him questions.
Right.
So it's important, even if, at home is solid, locked down tight, still reach out, because you never know where someone else might take you. And I was at this event yesterday when they were, they were recognizing minority business leaders in the area. And, a lot of people had a lot of great, inspiring things to say. But, several people, said something to the extent of, kind of reach back and help pull people along. To do that, that's why we have mentors. Their responsibility is to kind of help bring you ahead, right? And especially when you're talking about minorities. It was an event to recognize minority business leaders. It's something we have to do. It's something that was very powerful that was said was by, her name was Christina. She was accepted on behalf of Lloyd Freeman. I had the pleasure of meeting this guy. He's a partner at Archer Law. But she said something to the extent of, if you're the only one in the room, meaning if you're the only person of color in your room, it's your job to make sure that doesn't happen again. And that's something that really struck me. But yeah, so that's why I try to mentor as many young people as I can, especially young people that look like me, because I know what it's like. I've been through certain things. I don't have all the answers, but I can share my experience, which again is why I like doing this show, one of my outlets. But we gotta get ready to bounce. We got things to do, but of course we're gonna be back here working on making the show
go to work.
bigger and better. But yeah, we really need y'all to like our episodes, no matter what platform you're listening on. Follow our pages, share it. Doing those things really helps us grow. We're about helping promote personal growth, but we also need to grow on our platform so that we can grow our audience and help more people grow, so that, in turn it helps us grow, right?
Right.
So I grow personally from doing this. It makes me think about different things. I feel almost like a different part of me is developing just by the conversations we have each week, and the things that I even think about during the course of the week as to who, this show can pertain to. Because I can tell you, there's people that, watch this show and the show resonates with, that I thought, I never thought they would have been within our scope of the audience. Or when I was crafting this out, I didn't know I would touch like that demographic of people,
Mm-hmm.
But you just never know what people kind of going through in their lives. So definitely share the show, please. You want to take us out?
Well, see y'all next week. I like to say peace and God bless all. And I say peace.
Kill you, killing me. All right, y'all. We out of here. See y'all again next Sunday. Peace.